Hey guys, this is Nathan from RunDreamAchieve.com. Hope you guys are having a great weekend, and you seeing this video for the first time, it's going to be the start of the week. So I just wanted to talk on how to stick to your run goal. What is it that you're seeking to get out of yourself? Whether if you're training for the mile on the track, or you're trying to run your first sub 4 hour marathon, or maybe you're trying to break 40 minutes for the 10K. Is it a specific time goal that you have in mind? We all have different objectives in this sport. Some of us just want to start and finish a 10K and to be able to complete a 10K. There are other athletes that are, such as myself over the years, that are very razor sharp focused on trying to run a specific time for their chosen event. And as I think about this particular question, on this particular topic of how to stick to your run goal, I think back to all the times when I felt like giving up, and I'm just being honest. There were a lot of times where I was trying to get the marathon distance right, and there got to a point where I was just like, maybe the marathon distance is not for me. But that being said, I continued to pursue what I wanted to do. I, in my heart, believed that I could get the marathon correct, but I knew that I had to make specific changes in the way I was preparing for my races. Otherwise, I was not going to achieve what I was wanting to do in the marathon distance. If you're a marathoner, you certainly understand or any distance you're trying to prepare for. The mile is a very difficult event. It's very fast. It's over quickly, but you can make less mistakes in the mile as opposed to the marathon distance, where you can kind of adjust if you go out too fast. In the mile, if you make a mistake in the mile and you go out too fast the first 2 laps, you're going to crash and burn the second half of that race. So sticking to your running goals really comes down to how badly you truly want success. Over the years, I had to continue to put in double workouts routinely for several years before I was able to run as fast as I did for the mile. I ran 4:22 for the mile, 14:18 for 5K, 31:09 for 10K, 107:06 for the half marathon, and 2:19:35 for the marathon. And granted, a lot of athletes think those are respectable times, but it didn't just happen. I didn't just get to those particular times. I had to believe in what I was doing. So as you're preparing for your races, you're going to be challenged. In this what's going on in the world right now, there are a lot of athletes that are frustrated, that are challenged because either the races are being canceled or postponed on account of what's going on in the world. And you're in a particular challenge that I didn't have to deal with when I was competing. I started running in 1992 and pretty much kind of retired from professional level sport in 2018. So what you're dealing with right now really will take being challenged even to a much higher level. But you, at the end of the day, it's for every challenge, there's going to be an opportunity. So don't let up with what you're trying to do, whether that's trying to break a 4:30 mile, you're trying to run under 6 minutes for the mile for the first time, or maybe you're trying to run a sub 2:30 marathon, or run under 3 hours to the marathon. Whatever it is, you have to be tenacious about what you're doing. You have 3 choices in this life, and that goes for me as well. We can be average, we can be good, or we can be great. And average takes decent amount of work. It takes interest. But to be great at what you're doing takes commitment, and there is massive difference between just merely being interested in your sport or in your particular subject matter, whatever you're a subject matter expert in. There's massive differences between being interested and being committed. Interested will definitely get you so far, but commitment will get you to the finish line in record time. So as you're preparing for your races this year and thinking about what you want to do, I just want you to keep in mind that to be great, to do things outside of the norm, is going to require far more out of you than you realize right now. And you're probably more like me in that you don't have a lot of talent. Maybe you don't have a lot of talent, but you got to rely. If you're lacking on that talent area, you have to rely on your work ethic and your heart and what's up here, because that's even more important. The mentally preparing for what you're wanting to do is oftentimes even more important than the physical training that we do. Now, and I've said this before in other videos, that you can't just lay on a couch or lay on your bed and visualize yourself running a particular time that you're wanting to run and expect that just visualizing yourself doing it is going to get you to your goal. You have to have a combination of physical training very hard anaerobically, like we talk about in other videos. You have to train well below your goal race pace, whether you're training for the 3K, the 5K, or the marathon distance, or you're training for the mile. You have to spend some time, sufficient time, over several weeks and several months so that you get that goal race pace to feel more manageable. You don't want to feel fatigued in the early stages of your race. If you're hurting in the first 5 miles or the first 8 kilometers of a 42-kilometer race or 26.2-mile race, you're in trouble. You either have not mastered that taper phase that we talk about, the 10-day taper, rather than dropping your volume and your intensity out 3 weeks. Doing a 10-day taper, reminding your body of what you're wanting it to do, and then backing off just 10 days out from your big race. If you're not getting these things correctly, or you're not getting enough sleep, you're not hydrating well enough before and after your workouts, if you're not taking it easy on your easy days and jogging on those days, because it's not, you shouldn't be ashamed or feel bad that you're jogging, like literally easy, relaxed jogging on your easy days, because on those track workouts or those road sessions you're doing, you better expect and demand out of yourself for those to be extremely difficult, to the point where you're training so hard that you need 2 days of full recovery of just jogging, or you need, if you need to take a day off, take a day off. A lot of athletes they're so disciplined and so motivated that they have a hard time slowing down on recovery days, on easy days. That's why I stress the importance of recovery. If you want to take your running goals to the next level and achieve what you're trying to achieve and what you're visualizing, what you're spending time, 10 to 15 minutes each day, like I talk about in other videos, on a routine basis, on doing that once or twice a day for several weeks and several months, visualizing, training your subconscious mind to do what you're wanting it to do. If you're doing those things on top of doing all the other aspects of preparing for races, you're going to set yourself up for success, because most of your competition are training mainly on the physical aspect of preparation. They're putting in the track workouts. They're training at near or far below goal race pace. But how often are they training mentally? When I was competing, I would watch and I would study what the best middle to long distance runners I was training with, what they were doing. And what I noticed, especially from the sub 4-minute milers that I trained with, and I trained with several between 354 and 358 milers, and the common characteristics I saw with those guys were they didn't take their training seriously. I mean, they took it seriously in terms of the workout, but they weren't like, I've known several sub 4-minute milers that didn't write down their training, what they were doing on a routine basis each day. They just kind of did the workouts. They knew what they needed to do in training in order to run a sub 4-minute mile, but they weren't like writing down their workouts and what they were doing each day and each week. They had their coaches, and their coaches told them what to do, and that was it. After the workout, that was it. They weren't like constantly thinking about racing. And they didn't take themselves so seriously. So that's very important. If you're trying to achieve your running goals, you need to take your training seriously, because granted, you're not going to achieve your running goals by just watching television and expecting yourself to do great things. You have to get on the road, you have to get on the track, train anaerobically as well as aerobically. But at the same time, you have to let go of overthinking the process and stressing yourself out when you don't need to stress yourself out over these things. Make training the most challenging part of your preparation. And when it comes to the race, and your race morning when everybody else is stressed out, that's the time where you want to be as relaxed and as confident and as motivated as you can be, because you know that you've done every single thing possible in training, that there's nothing your competition is going to be able to throw at you. So to achieve your running goals, keep these things in mind. You know, slow down on those easy days. If it's easy, it's meant to be easy. Okay. You know, I was able to eventually run a marathon at 5 minutes and 19 seconds per mile for 26.2 miles, or around 3 minutes and 14 seconds for 42.2 kilometers. And it took several years to get to that amount of fitness. But the morning of that race, I was joking around. I was totally relaxed because I had done the preparation and training. So as you lead into your big races in 2021, keep those things in mind. Keep the things like the things that you have power and control over in mind. What you can't control is what the weather is going to be like. You can't control the content you're listening to, the people you're listening to, how much sleep you're getting, what your nutrition is like. You're in control of those things, so focus on that. If 95% of your weekly volume is spent running 30 seconds to 40 seconds per mile slower than your goal race pace, then you have a problem. You're spending too much time. You're putting in the volume, but you're not putting in the intensity to get you to the running goals that you have in mind. If it's a time goal, then you have to spend sufficient time training well below that goal pace and near that goal pace and at that goal pace, and obviously at paces that are much, much slower than goal race pace, so that you can recover from the hard workouts. So I hope this particular video is just has provided some insight to you and some motivation, some things that you need to be thinking about if you want to really achieve, if you want to go from average to being great in your particular event in 2021, especially in 2021, where with the things we're dealing with. Remember, you're strong. Your mentality. You're strong up here. You're strong in here. Prepare yourself mentally. Prepare yourself physically for your races. Do a proper taper, invest in yourself. There are plenty of resources below this video and on RunDreamAchieve.com, so feel free to check those out if they're of interest to you. If there's anything I can help you all out with, feel free to leave me a comment below this video. If you're brand new to the channel, click that bell icon and the subscribe button so when I make a new video, you'll be notified of it. And if there's anything else I can help you all out with, please feel free to reach out to me. Leave a comment regardless what topic it is. If there's a topic outside of running you want me to talk about, feel free to let me know. I have a great deal of interest in self-development, in business, entrepreneurship, mindset, focus, anything that really has to do with getting out of your comfort zone and trying to achieve the next level is topics that I have a lot of interest and I have a lot of background in. So definitely reach out to me. Let me know what's on your mind. Leave me a comment. I appreciate it, and if you can, leave me a thumbs up too as well. I really appreciate that. Works to, helps to achieve, more people to see the videos and to see the channel grow. So thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.